Hi there, I'm Wild Humphrey, the Fact Master. I'll tell you all the things you never knew you didn't know and a few that you sure do. I'm going to tell you today, I've got to share this with you. It's about one of the most famous people ever from France. Her name is Joan of Arc. And as a teenager, she changed the fortunes of France in the 100 Years' War, virtually single-handedly. Now, Joan was born on or around the 6th of January 1412, and as a teenager she said she'd had a vision and a visit almost from God himself, who said to Joan, "You've got to help your countrymen beat the English, sort it out," or words to that effect. So what she did, she went to see King Charles VI, the French king. Now, he was known as Charles the Mad. He thought he was made of glass, and there's all other weird things that he thought as well. So when Joan came to see him and said, "Look, God has sent me, I'm going to go to Orleans and sort this out for you," he must have thought, she's crazier than I am. But nonetheless, he said, "Yep, off you go." So off Joan went. Now, the siege of Orleans had been going on for months, and Joan arrived and immediately started to change everything. The French had never won a single battle in the 100 Years' War. Famously, they'd lost at Crécy, Poitiers, and of course Agincourt. They'd been slaughtered by the English. But Orleans, this was different. Joan arrived and things started to change. She led the charge, and suddenly what should have been a victory for the English turned into a victory for the French on the 8th of May 1429. This 17-year-old girl had made it happen. Everyone was ecstatic, and Joan, of course, was a national hero for a while. Things started to go downhill not too long after this. Although the French were starting to get some land back, Joan was captured by the English and held to ransom. And while she was held, God knows what they did to her. Anyway, the French paid the ransom to get Joan back, and she must have thought, great, phew, I'm away from that lot, back home, safe. How wrong she was. Suddenly she found herself being accused of being a heretic, and she faced charges of heresy. All she'd done, really, was dressed up as a boy, had a haircut, put a suit of armour on, but of course women didn't do that. All went against her in the end. She was found guilty and sentenced to death. And it was this very day, the 30th of May, 1431, that Joan of Arc was executed. She was burnt at the stake. And she wasn't just burnt at the stake. She was set on fire. Then the fire was put out while she was still alive. And then they set her on fire again and left her to burn to a cinder. Then when it was over, they got a body. This is the French. They got a body, chucked it in the river. That was the end of Joan. Now, the 100 Years' War carried on, and in the end finished after 116 years. And victory ended up going to the French anyway, so all that trouble, what for? But Joan became known as the Maid of Orleans, and is still, of course, to this day. You say the Maid of Orleans, you know it's Joan of Arc. But the French are very slow at recognising things of importance. It took them over 90 years to recognise Bastille Day. They didn't have a day, and they thought, we need a day, what can we choose? I know, what about that Bastille one, let's use that. Yeah, let's have Bastille Day, 14th of July. But it took them over 90 years to come up with that. Napoleon was their most famous emperor by a mile. It took him 19 years to give him a proper funeral. He died in 1821. They gave him his funeral in 1840 on December the 15th. And it was 500 years or more before Joan of Arc was finally canonised. And that is a fact. But this young girl, a teenager, had turned the fortunes of France around virtually single-handedly. Chosen in her mind by God, and led the men of France to victories they wouldn't have won. Went through everything for her country. And what happened? She was executed, burnt at the stake, this very day, 30th of May, 1431. And that is a fact. Now I'm Wild Humphrey, the Fact Master. Thank you for watching this. Please subscribe to my channel and get your friends too. I need a few subscribers. I'll be back with some more stuff, and it's all from up there, the mind of Wild Humphrey. That's a fact. So take it easy. See you soon.